Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD, continuing the casting marathon right before I hop on my airplane flight to Atlantic City. But of course, once you guys see these games, I've already been in Atlantic City. In fact, I think these are going to be my later uploads, so maybe AC is already done, which means you guys should be looking forward to Orlando, Florida. I will be a competitor there. And that's all the announcements I really have to say. This is going to be a Terran versus Protoss game number 2 following the first game between Minigun and Empire Happy, where Happy decided to buckle up his pants, run into the other player, and pants him, basically. He punched him in the face, he pantsed him, he humiliated him, he pulled all of his SCVs, and he said, GG! Very well played by Happy, I have to say. I don't even know, now that I think about it, I don't even know if it was a really good play, or if it was a really stupid play. I mean, certainly the timing was perfect. He saw the Nexus with his Banshee and he was like, okay, this is the weakest time for the Protoss player. He just threw 400 minerals into a Nexus. Theoretically speaking, I should have the advantage. He therefore proceeded to take his advantage, which was just like a little window, and he shoved that window wide open and he leapt through it. He pulled all of his SCVs, man. That is so ballsy. Now, I don't know if he's going to do it again. Minigun's probably hip to this, and I don't think he's going to let that happen a second time. Obviously, how do you hold that off? You get a bigger gateway ball, and you pull your probes off the line when those SCVs come to greet you. You got to fight toe-to-toe and pull your probes as well. Force fields are very good, and unfortunately, Minigun just didn't have enough gateway units to really have enough force fields. And Minigun's teching straight into mass Colossi or trying to get that early tech. Yeah, early teching typically falls to a rush like that, a mass out, all out, mongoloid rush of SCVs. So hopefully Minigun doesn't drop the ball this time and stays on top of things. He is going to steal the gas once again. Looks like he's a big advocate of that. And we'll see if Happy decides to open the game with Banshees again, depending on, of course, how long it takes him to get that assimilator down. But yeah, we'll have to see if Minigun dies to the same thing again. Now, if Happy decides to pull all of his SCVs off the line, I'm not saying he will, but if he tries to do that mid-game, 15-minute, I'm gonna all-in you, it's not going to be as effective on this map as it was on Test Bug, in my opinion, because the ramp is somewhat choked off. You can force field it, depending how many force fields you have, and it can be easily held, I think, for a Protoss player. So I'm sure Happy already knows all of this. I don't think he's going to do it again, but you never know. SCV already has 5 minerals, is gonna do the loop. A lot of gamers will actually do this. They'll shift Q, and all you have to do is hold down shift and just right click to create this kind of command queue. And that way you don't really have to pay attention to your scouting worker. You can just let it go do its thing and it won't stand still. So a lot of players do that. Happy also working down that assimilator right now, and it looks like he's gonna go in Barracks Factory. Once again, not a 1-Rax expand. Interesting. So he is going to go into Barracks Factory. Quite possibly could see a starport again, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, once again, not going to be expected from Minigun because he stole that initial gas. And there is a starport. So not a Barracks Factory expand. Barracks Factory starport 111. Could see a 111 all in here. But he does certainly have that starport on the way, so your guess is as good as mine, guys. It could be a Banshee as well. Minigun right now doesn't have Robotics Bay coming down. Is he saving up for Robotics? He could be going for the Robotics. He needs 150 gas to get it, and I hope he is. And no, it's another gateway. All right, so he's got 1, 2, 3 gates right now, and maybe he's going to go for a 3-gate robo build, but I certainly hope he gets a Robotics Bay, because if he doesn't get the Observer out, then he is just going to lose to a straight-up Banshee, which it is going to be a Banshee. Cloak Banshee to boot, I believe, because Happy is once again taking that tech lab. And is he going to research Cloak? He is going to research Cloak. All right. So same opening once again from Happy. Pokes the front with the Hellion as well. That is so intelligent. To Minigun, that looks like, okay, a Hellion on the field. It could be some kind of Marine Hellion play. It could be, Hellion into, I don't know, drops or something, but I don't think he's thinking about Cloak Banshees right now. Certainly not. But there's a robotics facility up in the middle of that gateway grid, and I'm hoping he gets an observer out prono. Cloak and first Banshee are on the way right now. And once again, Happy with the factory at the front door. That is really interesting. That's an interesting spot for a factory. I wonder if maybe it's like a trap, like Indiana Jones. Once the Protoss forces run up here, well, once you come to the door, he lifts off the factory and lets him in, and then he lands him and traps them all. It's like the Terran equivalent to a force field. I don't know. I'm just postulating as to why the factory's presence is located downfield, but we'll never know, I guess. Happy now coming out across the map with the Banshee. Cloak is going to be done around the same time that Banshee arrives inside the main. Looks like Minigun's prepared for it though, despite not scouting. He has his wow, so intelligent. Look at that. Observer set directly to this location where there's anti-air ready and waiting to catch the Banshee in the air. Super intelligent play right here from Minigun, and he's going to be he's going to be paid off here, I think. I don't see this Banshee doing much damage at all. Although it's coming around the backside. It's going to get one probe kill. Protoss forces immediately moving to the left. Probes are also evacuating the area to the right. The Banshee gonna get 3 probe kills, excuse me, and maybe a sentry as well. Wow. Despite Minigun having the observer and the proper anti-air here, that Banshee certainly getting a couple of kills here or there already. And we do have a stalker at the front door. This guy is, ooh, just barely makes it out of there alive. So lucky little stalker, but for now, you know, very, very close game. Neither player with a big edge. I feel like Minigun is maybe a little bit ahead because, of course, Happy going for the one-on-one build hasn't done enough damage with this Banshee yet. He really hasn't justified the cost of opening on the starport rather than opening right into a command center as Minigun did. He's trying to rectify that right now. He's gotten 7 probe kills, so it's not too shabby. And he's going to go ahead and pull to the back. He's going to need a little bit more kills, I think, to make things even, because he's still down by a good 10 harvesters. Now Maynarding over to the natural, and is, of course, using that factory once again as a pseudo wall at the front. And for now, it looks like Happy's probably going to stick with the bio build. Marine Marauders also gets that early Raven out once again. And I don't know if we saw the Raven in action in the last game. Maybe in that last battle he dropped the PDD or auto turrets or something. But as I said, I reiterate, the Raven's very good for scouting Dark Templars and very good at dealing with the Protoss in the late game. You can throw down those PDDs, you can throw down the turrets as well. There's a lot of versatile use that the Raven certainly can come into fruition in. Now, Happy bringing out a second Banshee, certainly has control of the skies right now, and just starting to fortify that ground army. We do have a divergence this time from Minigun. Rather than going right into Colossus, which really hurt him in the last game, he is going into a more gateway backbone build, and he's got Blink for his Stalkers coming up as well. So I really like this a lot more than the quick rush to Colossus without proper gateway backbone. And with this, he is probably going to be much better off against some kind of a Happy, oh, I'm going to throw everything at you. So I think he's going to be pretty well prepared, and he is actually pushing out to time this with the Blink upgrade. He's got a couple of Stalkers moving out, and he's got an Obs. He could theoretically Blink right into the main. It's pretty bold stuff, but we'll see if he does it. I don't know if he will. He's just kind of postulating in the middle of the map, posturing his Stalkers, and a scan will also reveal how many Stalkers were in the middle. So for now, between these two players, a lull in the game, in fact, with, oh, let's hold that thought. A couple Banshees running in once again. It looks like they got a lot of kills here. These are the old Banshees. Man, they're just going for like a bomber run right now over the Protoss main. And I think they killed off a couple of probes, but that is certainly annoying, and that's why all those Stalker forces just pulled back. You know what? Happy has been very cost effective with his Banshees so far. He hasn't lost a single one yet, I don't think, and he's gotten a total of 13 and 7, 20 kills altogether on those two Banshees. That is incredible, to not lose your Banshees at all. Now he's going right into Ghost play, of course getting that EMP shockwave for the Protoss ball, but man, he's coming in for another bomber run here, ladies and gentlemen. Could get a couple more probe kills. 1, 2, that's 22, possibly 23, not quite. Pulls away at the last second. And this is certainly one of those maps where units like the Banshee can be ultra annoying. And it's surprising that Minigun hasn't decided to build a Stargate or something to deal with those Banshees. He has really no anti-air that can reach out beyond the extension of his main or his natural into the dead airspace beyond. And that's proving to be a bit of a problem. These two Banshees have a free air lane, and what do? They force these Stalkers to continually stay inside the main. We just had a little blink right there, but the cloak cancels the ability for the Stalkers to attack. And wow. Those Stalkers are just not able to move across the map. They're constantly playing defensive, and this is not what Minigun wants to do right now. And slowly but surely, you know, Happy's going to secure another expansion. More probes going down. Happy getting 13 and 9 right now. So he's got 22 probe kills still. Still could potentially be a lot more though. And he's hiding in the back for now. Storm is on the way right now for Minigun as well, ladies and gentlemen. And Storm can be the determining factor. Don't forget, feedback can be used on the Banshees as well. But one thing that Happy's been doing really well with these Banshees is keeping the energy down. He's been cloaking them and decloaking them. And so feedback really isn't going to be that effective. Finally, one of those Banshees gets picked off. That thing was like an annoying gnat inside Minigun's main. He just brought out the fly swatter and swatted that bastard down. And I'm sure he's happy about that. But finally now we have Minigun approaching Colossus. Has Templar, has Colossus, has a third base on the way. A Lone Marine actually sees the third one and is currently working down a pylon. It looks like a Zealot will be dispatched to deal with that guy. And the Marine decides to run for it, so he's going to hide up on the top. Right now, Happy also has secured his third base, has a nice sizable ball in the middle of the map. Complete M&M here. Minigun with charge lots, Templars, not Archons, mind you, and approaching Colossus. I believe he has the ability to make Colossus, but he hasn't made any yet. Interesting. And it looks like the Banshee here has, it's just parked out here right now. Happy is paying attention to this Banshee as well. As you guys can tell by that yellow ring around his Banshee that pops up time and time again. That means he's selecting it. And Happy selecting his Banshee here, just ready and waiting to hit the probes that are maniarding over. He could get a lot more kills on this Banshee. Gonna get 10, 11. Man, that's gotta be so annoying for Minigun. And the Photon Cannon is gonna, I thought he was gonna cancel the Photon Cannon as well, but Banshee's now gonna run for it. Doesn't want to get picked off by those stalkers. It may end up getting killed off here unless Happy's paying attention. Wow, look at that. Happy's attention span, his awareness so good, saves the Banshee from suiciding itself into those stalkers. And now we have Happy pushing into the middle of the map. He is going to make a push, does a double drop on the scan, sees those Templars, immediately takes that Templar out. Really well played by his ghosts. And of course the ghosts here, the most expensive, most valuable unit in this mixture. They've got to be super careful. EMP shockwaves, sniper fire, everything that the ghost does is so important and key to success for the Terran player. Happy here with another Banshee that's gotten 12 kills, finally drops, but it got 12 kills, good lord. Workers killed so far, 24 workers killed for Happy, 0 workers killed for Minigun. Not a good situation. Hellion decides to drive by through the hood, gets shot down, and Minigun's just waiting here. This is his neighborhood. Does he really want to engage Happy? Does he really want to do it? Picks off a stalker. I almost feel like we're watching like a gang war right now between two like enemies. This is like their turf. They're about to do battle. Speaking of which, we're having a nuclear missile about to come down. Oh my god, EMP just hits that Templar and a clean sniper fire to the dome. Takes that Templar out as well. Man, his play is so intelligent, so crisp. And Happy gonna drop right into the main all the while, picks off the Templar archives, unloads, gets all of his units out of there. Another great snipe by Happy. And he picks off the pylon powering the robotics facility, thereby delaying the Colossus once again. Just very good play right here from Happy. He's just being very intelligent and disciplined with this play. I really like it, and so far Minigun just hasn't been able to do a darn thing. Not a thing to Minigun. Not a thing to Happy. I like how he's got his units spread out to minimize the effects of EMP, but honestly, man, he's got to get jiggy with it. He's got to start using Warp Prisms or, I don't know, anything. He just can't play passively like this. And Happy gonna go in for another drop into the main, all the while nuking the third here. And I like this play. This is gonna make Minigun think that the nuke is actually occurring up here with the drop, but really little does he know it that it's actually happening here. No, he does know it. Pulls the probes away. Nuke falls, kills off 2 pylons and a photon cannon. Minimal damage achieved right there from Happy, and it looks like Happy's drop is going to go on deaf ears. It is going to fall apart. So, Happy tried to make something creative happen there once again. I really like how he dropped the main and then launched the nuke and made it really look like the nuke was going to be somewhere in the main. But any good player, whenever you hear the nuclear missile sound, what do? You tab through the backspace key and look for that red dot. So Minigun was all over that. Doesn't look like he's going to be faced by nuclear fire today. We do have another drop going on though, ladies and gentlemen. Happy going into the south expansion. Once again, looking to do work here. Runs away from a lone zealot though. That's almost like, hear me roar, and everything just ran for it. Oh, feedback on that dropship, takes it out, and good micro right here from Happy, trying to keep his units away from that Zealot. He may actually end up killing the Zealot. Yes, he will. So 2-2 upgrades on those Marines. The bio for both sides actually are currently at 2 weapons and 2 armor. And another nuclear missile launch, ladies and gentlemen. This time the Ghost chilling on the porch overhead, the balcony, if you will, launching the nuke. The probes are going to make a run for it, scrambling away. It looks like the Ghost may end up landing the nuke anyways. But once again, minimal damage received here from Minigun. But it really just goes back to the game so far, just the entire aspect of the game, the whole dynamic. It's been Happy who's been aggressive, Happy who controls the center of the map, and Minigun who's been playing, I regret to say, like a weakling. He just seems so passive right now. This is not how you win at Starcraft 2, man. Not how you win at any game. You do not play passively like this, and eventually he's just gonna get out-offensed. A couple of PDDs going down here. That was a little interesting. The Ghost, by the way, guys, is still alive. I can't believe this. That Ghost with 5 kills from those nukes is still chilling inside the main, or inside one of those expansions. And another nuclear missile is being built right now, ladies and gentlemen. One of the nukes getting fired off, so it looks like Happy has the capability to build 2 nukes at a time. Launching a nuke here, a territory nuke, hoping to draw the forces into his army. And of course, what does this do? Is allows him to push forward and snipe off buildings in the middle. Oh my! All right, that just is Zealot taking some damage right there. But Happy playing very intelligently. I like the territorial nukes, gives him ability to poke forward and do some damage. And of course, neither player losing anything to those nuclear missiles. Oh my god, finally Minigun getting extended thermal lance. That's a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. And Minigun, that may be why he hasn't pushed out yet, because he just doesn't have extended thermal lance. And of course his Colossus are kind of useless without it. Another nuke getting fired, EMP shockwave to boot, doesn't quite hit the Templar, and the Happy moving. Oh my god, cancel the nuke, Happy! Cancel the nuke, Happy! Oh my god, he just nuked all his own ghosts. What is he doing? Oh, and he was trying to drop at the same time, doing a little bit too much right there, and all of a sudden Happy's, you know, this entire game has been like highlight reels of how to play Terran versus Protoss. All of a sudden that just got flushed down the toilet because he nuked his own ghosts. That was not prime at all. And Happy can't be too happy about that. And Minigun now with the extended range is gonna make a push. Did Minigun realize that all the ghosts are out right now? There are no ghosts except for this lone ghost. That's the only ghost in the field, maybe another one. But I don't think Minigun realizes this. Oh no, another nuke's gonna drop. Happy, pull out of there, man. There you go, pulls out. Forces a cancel, it looks like, on maybe a Nexus. Nuke drops down, doesn't really do any damage. And Happy trying to get a little jiggy with those Marines and Marauders. May end up dropping behind this expansion. Keep in mind, guys, there on the production tab, there is Dark Shrine on the way, more nukes, weapons at level 3 on the way, building armor, even in high-sec auto-tracking. A lot of crazy upgrades coming now for both sides. A potential engage in the middle, ladies and gentlemen, while that M&M drop is going off in the background, taxing both players' APM right now. Oh my god, this is such an intense one. The Vikings fire a volley on the Colossus. Oh, picking off both Colossus with a free cheap shot to the head. Man, that sucks for Minigun. Minigun cannot allow his Colossus count to dwindle. That's the only real unit he has to deal with the M&M, short of Storm, which isn't really a unit, that's a spell. Just a very tense moment right now. Happy also has the hidden 6 o'clock Ninja Expo here, guys, and mining just the minerals from it. But for now, the nuclear war has stopped for a little bit. It looks like Minigun may go for a pick-off on the dropship. Not quite. Oh, PDD goes in time to save that medevac. Great PDD. And it looks like Happy may engage here. Storm falls, doesn't really do that much damage. And a nuke getting launched off here. And EMP and sniper fire. Damn. What a battle. That nuclear missile probably won't do any damage except to maybe its ghost. But an insane game of Terran versus Protoss thus far. That nuke does not do any friendly fire damage. The Vikings, of course, they're trying to find a spot to pick off the Colossus. This is a very back and forth game. It's like a game of chess, and finally, all-out chaos is about to ensue. Both armies deciding to engage here and now, and we have a massive battle. The ghosts all cloaking, launching a nuke, but the nuke gets canceled. That would have been a beautiful nuke as Happy was falling back, and I can't believe this, but Minigun looks like he has enough forces to bust right on through the Storm, destroying the Vikings. And although most of the Colossus did die to the massive amount of Vikings, it looks like the ground army of Minigun, just too much for Happy to deal with. What a battle. What a battle. I mean, from point A to point, I don't know, point Q, almost through the entire game, it looked like Happy was going to take it. It looked like Happy was playing much better. And then all of a sudden, he nuked his own ghost, and I think that was a turning point. After that, Minigun pushed out, and he was able to just execute. And that was it. So that's 1-1 here between Minigun and Happy. Already a pretty fun series, and we're going to have Game 3 coming up right after this, guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And this is HD, signing out.